is now 24 minutes after 12 o'clock on Irie Fm. Off to a late start, but better late than never. And our guest is here. And our guest this afternoon on Heart, Mind and Soul to Soul is Christina Gonzalez.
The 1 liter.
Okay, I want to welcome Christina to Heart, Mind and Soul to Soul. Welcome.
Thank you for having me.
Okay, my production assistant is going to put another microphone closer to... You don't move, Christina. Put another microphone close to Christina's microphone that we can hear her loud and clear. Now, you see the songs that I selected a while ago and the songs that I selected, hear me to myself now. Why, Christina dance, you know? so me can't pick the little boring idiot tune for Christina. You understand me? So, welcome, right?
Thank you.
The idea of a perfect guest for Heart, Mind and Soul to Soul is definitely catching on, right? And how I'm positive that it is catching on because Lana Gay came to me the other day and she started talking to me about Christina. And then she said to me that she thinks that this young lady would be a perfect guest for Heart, Mind and Soul to Soul. And she spoke very highly of you. So when I saw your bio and I read your bio, I said, spot on, Lana. This is the kind of young guest that I would really love to interview. So here we are.
Okay, fantastic.
All right. Wonderful. Okay, you were born with the arts flowing through your DNA.
Yes.
Yes. Let's talk about your dad, first of all, who is world-renowned for his being a visual artist. Christopher Gonzalez is your dad. Let us talk about your dad.
Okay. Well, of course, many persons, when the first thing they think about having a famous father is, oh my God, you have a famous father. How was it? How is it at home with your dad?
Right.
You know?
Right.
How is it at home with your dad? It's normal. We have the same father to daughter butting off heads. Don't go out in the city. It's too revealing. Don't wear any spaghetti strap. It was just, you know what I mean? But the plus side was we got a lot of help with our art homework.
Right.
So we all did. It was 4 of us. My father has 6 children in all. 2 who live in the States and 4 of us from my mother, Champagne.
Okay.
Right? So we all grew up with him and he taught us, you know, the basics of fine art, how to draw proper lines and symmetry and so on. So of course we used to go to school and kids at school used to ask us for help, and so it had its positives,
right?
You know. And then we also experienced art exhibitions. We went to the National Gallery in Kingston. So what students down here, the art students down here, probably would not have been exposed to, we got a lot of exposure in terms of not only just art, we also did dancing as well.
Right.
So we went to art exhibitions, we went to Mutual Life Gallery, we went to the National Gallery, Grosvenor Galleries. So we had a lot of experience in visual arts. We visited the National Dance Theatre Company. My mother was also a dancer. She still is a dancer.
We're going to get to mommy soon.
All right.
So let me ask you something. Now, did any of your siblings get the gift that dad got, being a visual artist?
Yes.
Really?
Well, all of us. But the person who is really taking it up is my sister Abena.
Okay.
And Abena is Abena Adelaide. She does fashion designing.
Okay.
So in terms of the visual arts
right.
and its application, Abena has really taken it
Wonderful.
up.
All right. You would have understood from a very early age about the life of an artist.
Right.
What was your early impression of what that meant? Because a lot of people perhaps see artists and want to be one, don't understand the difficulties that artists go through, that sometimes them broke down the money and sometimes they So let me ask the question again. What was your early impression of what being an artist meant?
Oh my God, freedom.
Really?
Freedom. Just as a young person growing up, young, and I mean young.
Very,
and I
very
used to
young.
see my parents, my father, he would say his day job was literally in his studio, locked up, playing Bob Marley music, from Bob Marley right to Peter Tosh music, and just put up his don't disturb sign and just paint the whole day.
Wow.
So I mean, that or go to school, which one? So, you know, it was just freedom for me. And then on the dance side, there's stars and limelight. And so it just seemed, it was a beautiful picture to me.
I love that. You know, I really love that word that you used, freedom. Because
Yes.
most of us don't kind of grow up with artist dad or dancer moms.
Many of us.
Many of us don't. Most of us grow up with parents who are pretty stodgy and not, you know.
And then you have the arranged careers.
Thank
you
you.
must do
Oh,
this or you must
Lord.
do that. No.
Okay, so that was dad. Your mom now is a dancer and a fitness instructor.
Right.
Let's talk about champagne, your mom.
Alrighty.
We're ready for mommy.
My fitness guru mom. Who, if you eat a tad bit of fat too much, she down on you. You know, you're putting on too much weight. Everybody, the conversation starts with, "Hi, how you doing?" You know, you put on a little weight.
You're serious?
I am very serious.
And you went through that?
Of
You
course,
went through that?
Of course.
You're kidding me.
Of course.
How
My
did that
mother-
affect you?
It didn't affect me terribly. I say, to be honest with you, I'm a very positive person, so there's absolutely nothing that affects me in a negative or a terrible way. I drew from that, and her fitness, her love for fitness really came onto me because I started entered marathon, a cross country race when I was in was it 4th or 5th form in my senior years at high school, and I did well. I was in the top 5 of about 40 or so, and that was my first time entering. I used to jog with her almost every day.
So you didn't go ahead. You didn't
I actually teach dance fitness as well, so I've fused my dancing with fitness.
Okay, but
So-
you are one of her children who sound to be very much like her. What about your other siblings now? Do you think it was any pressure to never put on weight?
I wouldn't say pressure is too strong a word, because my parents were very open. I mean, no, there wasn't really any pressure.
No pressure.
No, I wouldn't say there's pressure.
Okay.
But we were conscious of our, fitness and gaining or not gaining weight.
And what
so
you
on.
ate.
And exactly, our dietary practices and so on.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, wonderful. Well, you know, we're still here listening. Most of us, like I said, don't have the opportunity to have a mom who is a dancer. Oh, I wish I had a mom who was a dancer. But we must listen and say, you're right. But still, no. So what is your experience like being raised by, it seems to me, to be two free-spirited parents?
Very much so.
Most people have a one parent who free-spirited or none. Both your parents are free. What was that like growing up?
It was fun. It was fun. It had its ups and downs, as every normal family does.
Right.
But it was fun. The development of, 6 different personalities were there in that family, because of course 4 girls and 2
boys?
No, sorry. 4 girls, my parents, 5,
Okay.
6, yeah.
So you don't have brothers?
I have one brother, he lives in the States, but
Okay.
that's a different.
Right, so
yeah,
he
that's
didn't
before
grow up
my
in the
time.
house.
No, he didn't grow up in the house.
So it was all girls raised in the house?
all girls.
Lord have mercy.
Exactly. Can I tell you?
Merciful Father. You didn't need a dancer, mother. No. So all 4 girls growing up in the house, and you have all 4 of you have different spirits, right? So tell me a little bit about your sisters. How are they different, and what do they do? I hear about the one who's a fashion designer.
Right.
Tell me about the others.
Okay, so there's Abena, who is the fashion designer.
Right.
There is Asha, she's an entertainment coordinator.
Okay.
She works by couples, and she's more of the party girl. So of course, in every family, you're going to have a hype maker, a hipster.
Right.
So that is definitely Asha, still is.
Okay.
Then there's Naila. Naila she's very calm. She's a Libra.
What's Naila? What's the meaning of Naila?
Naila,
I know it
remember
has a
right
meaning,
now.
you
It
know.
has a meaning
And
because
coulda
it is
calm.
African.
It's good at
Could
calm.
be.
You never know. Anyway,
You never know.
So she's the calm one.
But she's very calm. She actually taught herself to play classical piano. So she plays very well. She writes her own music as well. She's 19, October gone.
Okay.
So that's Naila, and of course Abena. Abena is, what can I say about Abena? Abena has a very strong personality. You could say she's headstrong sometimes. She's, I think, in comparison to all the sisters.
All right. Let us talk now about being raised in St. Anne. And going to school in St. Anne. What was the experience like being raised in the Garden Parish and going to school here?
Okay. It was good. I mean, I went to St. Hilda's High. Well, first I went to Columbus Preparatory School, and the experience there was great because, Columbus has this great standard for academics. So it was actually very good.
Right.
Then I graduated. I went to St. Hilda's High School, and it was also a great experience. And then from my experience here, it was very good. It was.
Were you one of those children who wished you were in Kingston, or were you quite happy with being in St. Anne?
Yes, I did. I did wish that I was in Kingston, because based on what it is that my family exposed me to, St. Anne just did not have the facility for that.
Yes, we're going to talk about that.
Okay.
We're definitely going to talk about that. Yes. So that was your experience also.
So that was my experience. Right.
Okay. All right. At age 13, you entered and became Miss Teen Jamaica.
Oh, boy.
2001.
Right.
It's very interesting, because for those listening, I have never seen Christina before. I invited her solely on the recommendation of Lana. But having read your bio, I said to Lana is like a no Christina. And that's why I started to call you a butterfly.
Okay.
All right.
I like that.
You like butterfly?
I like it.
You feel like a butterfly. Yes, anyway. You entered and became Miss Teen Jamaica 2001.
Yes.
There are a couple of questions I want to ask. One, how did entering come about? And two, most of us at 13 dealing with puberty and acne that come with it. And most of us at 13 just don't think we're that cute. Look here. I didn't.
I'm sure you were.
No, I'm sure I didn't.
You were cute as a button.
I didn't think so. I had body parts extruding all over the place that I was not accustomed to. And bumps popping up where I never had bumps before. So my question to you now, were you confident enough at 13 to not just enter Miss Teen Jamaica, but also to think you could have win?
I actually did not think that I could win. I actually didn't. But I'm going to say this. My mother really pushed us as girls to enter these type of competitions. I used to be a tomboy. As many people come on and they said they were a tomboy as girls. But the truth be told, I used to climb a lot of trees. I used to ride bicycle. I used to run up and down with the dogs. I used to run up and down barefoot.
Right.
In the yard, of course.
Right.
My father would not allow me outside like that. But anyways, so my mother saw the ad on TV and said, you know what, I want my two girls, the two eldest ones, Asha and Christina, to enter. So I said, okay, let me tag along, because it was really, I think it's so we entered. So we entered the competition. And
you entered, both of you entered the same year?
Both of us entered the same year. And we were up against persons who were, students in nursing school, students who were of course higher grades than I am. Most of them, I think we were the only two from St. Anne. No, there was a third person from St. Anne. There was three of us in all from St. Anne. And then we entered, we went through all the etiquettes and all the things that you do to prepare yourself for a pageant. And then on the last day, I was, very confident, not in the fact that I was going to win, but in the fact that, yes, thank God, this thing is over. I can go home. I can go home. I can just relax now. So then I think the question that they asked me was, who betrayed Jesus in the Bible? And of course I said, it's very easy, that's Judas. And then the other thing they asked me was, if you were supposed to be the anybody in the world, who would that be and why? And of course I said Fidel Castro.
You're joking.
I said Fidel Castro.
and they asked you why?
And of course they asked me why. And I said because I admire his strength as a leader, and it's something that I aspire to be like, no matter what the outside, the powerful forces like America or wherever else, he stands by his what he says. And it's something that I admired as a 13-year-old.
My goodness.
You know? And I said that, and of course the crowd went wild.
They did.
They did.
That's in Jamaica. I would like to see how the crowd would go if you're in Miami.
No.
Anyway, the crowd went wild. I would go wild. I mean, to hear a 13-year-old say Fidel Castro, that's wonderful.
Yeah.
That shows a level of exposure. Where did that come from?
I go back again to my parents, and you know, I say both of my parents, but my father heavily, because my father spoke a lot on leadership. He was really, you know, men are really into leadership. That they really do a lot of research, more so than women commonly, on, you know, politics and how countries are governed. So I heard, listening to a lot of his conversations, and of course I drew from this, you know. So this exposure helped me to get that.
Wonderful.
You know.
That tells me a lot about your dad that you didn't say before. Yes, that tells me a lot about it. Okay, so even though you were a bit of a tomboy, you had no problem putting on what?
A dress.
You had to put on a gown, or
it wasn't a gown. It was knee length. I know it wasn't. Okay, when I said tomboy, it wasn't in a sense that I will never wear a dress. You know, because of course every little girl wants to wear a dress. Every little girl wants to look like Cinderella at some point in her life.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So I didn't have a problem with that. I wore a dress. It was a little bit below my knee, and my sister wore the gown.
Okay.
You know, so.
And you weren't intimidated by the older girls?
No.
And you won?
I won.
Over the older girls?
Over the older girls.
Who were doing nursing and all of that?
Who were...
So you knew how to walk?
Of course I knew how to walk. My mother is a dancer.
Oh,
hello.
You see, you know, forgive me. I am still thinking of me. Okay. Okay. But this is Christina, all right? Difference here. Okay. We're going to take a break, Christina, and then when we come back, we're going to be talking about St. Hilda's a little more, all right?
Okay.
So for those who are just joining us, we're talking to my very special guest this afternoon on Heart, Mind, and Soul to Soul, Christina Gonzalez, and we're finding out so much more about her.
Maggie Season-Up mixes in perfect harmony with all your fresh seasonings. You and Maggie, the secret of great flavor. The time by Maggie is...
It is now 12:42 on Irie Fm. I want to remind our listeners that at 1 o'clock this afternoon, listen up for Pick $3 and the Cashpot Live Draw.
Hey, stop what you're doing. It's time to shop at Courts. With nothing down on 24 to 36 months credit, plus third month free. Now is the best time to head down to Courts. There's also a chance to win a Mazda 2 with the purchase of a Frigidaire appliance. And a free high-low grocery gift basket for you with the purchase of any Mabe appliance. With the widest range of the world's best brands at the best prices guaranteed, it's time to shop at Courts. Courts, bringing value home.
Better wheels. When you need your parts, the real good Japanese parts. Yes, you better check Better Wheels. Yeah, this is Jackie Rasta. You don't know Better Wheels. For better price, better deals. At Galena and Port Antonio, Jamaica. Better Wheels. Yeah, Better Wheels. You have the better car part. Yes, you make your car drive sweet. Drive sweet.
With Access Financial Services, growth is guaranteed.
I'm an Access Financial success story. I started out selling from my house, and look for me now with my very one shop. You can access loans for growing micro and small business too, you know. Look for Mary. Back to school is no stress. She went down to Access. And Derek, him just buy a brand new taxi. Thanks to Access.
I'm Sam. I'll show you how you can achieve growth with a loan from Access Financial at any of our branches island-wide, or call us at 1-888-GET-ACCESS. Access Financial Services. Small steps, big growth.
Drink Magnum man.
Be the boss, 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 be the boss.
Magnums, be the boss. Touch the Road Party Series is coming to your area. Energy. Check out the Boss Bucket Deals and Giveaway. Party all night with the Magnum mobile machine. And as always, the Magnum girls will be on scene, keeping the party turned up for party details. Check the star every Friday and roll out.
Must be 18 years or older. Drink responsibly.
Magnum Tonic Wine.
And now,
Now, two great worlds converge. When live music meets vinyl.
Yeah, man, this one is...
As Iration Ice Production presents Live to Vinyl, the Roots Rockin' Reggae Edition.
Rise up this morning.
Friday, October 25 at the Cable Hut Beach, Full Bay St. Thomas. Live in concert, the Uprising Roots Band. Party music by Gabriel Selassie, DJ DC, and Troubleshoot Disco. Admission $500. Showtime 8 p.m.
When we step out in the Christmas streets, you see Guinness. We hear a big tune a play and a cover Guinness start beat. Guinness. We don't go take nothing less than the best of the sure. Guinness. West man a brandish a brand from the 8th man a strictly.
Guinness. Made of more. Join the celebration at your favorite bar. Enjoy 2-for-1 Guinness specials and bucket deals. Spot prizes and even more vibe. Guinness. Christmas in the streets. Must be 18 years or older. Please enjoy Guinness responsibly.
Come to Wendy's and enjoy their new Monterey Ranch Crispy Chicken Sandwich. You will love its crispy all-white meat chicken topped with Monterey Jack cheese, fresh lettuce, and zesty ranch sauce. Have it in a combo today for only $285.
Quality is a recipe. At Wendy's.
Supreme Ventures, I give you the multiple chance again. But this time on Pick 3. Pick 3 turn for the multiple chance. You hear me? I the Pick 3 multiple chance promotion. All you have to do is go buy a Pick 3 like normal. Spend $10 or more on the multiple chance and you will get 3 more set of numbers on your ticket. The 3 more set of numbers mean more chance to win. So go buy your Pick 3 number them now and get 3 more chance to win in the Pick 3 multiple chance promotion. October 6th to November 2.
Digicel Top Up, Turn Up.
Win your share of $20 million in cash and prizes when you top up with $120 Digicel credit or more. Thousands of weekly winners of smartphones and credit to talk, text, and just browse the internet. And you could be the grand prize winner of $1 million cash. So top up today. And remember, you still qualify for Best Friend for free. Text 167 to 137 free for more info. Promotion ends November 14th. Conditions apply. With Digicel, your credit really lasts longer.
The following is a public service announcement from the Jamaica Public Service Company. JPS advises its valued customers that the Mandeville Commercial Office will be closed tomorrow, Friday, October 25, as of 12 noon to facilitate the opening of the Mandeville e-store outlet. JPS apologizes for any inconvenience that the closure will cause and advises that the Mandeville Commercial Office will resume normal opening hours on Monday, October 28 at 8:15 a.m. JPS thanks you for your understanding.
Set the mood for me to all a different energy. I'm loving how the music sounds. You said the woman, them we agree. Hey,
Okay, it will be interesting to see what Christina would do with a little one drop with dancing. Okay, so we have Christina Gonzalez as our special guest here this afternoon on Heart, Mind and Soul to Soul. And we're finding out so much more about this talented and, of course, outspoken young lady. All right, so we're talking about St. Hilda's now. I know that when you were younger, when you were probably a teenager, you had a chance to dance in a cabaret group, and all of this was happening while you were at school. So my question to you would be, did you have academic interests while you were going to St. Hilda's, and what were they?
I definitely had academic interests. I loved biology. Mm-hmm. I loved biology. I actually had a passion. I still do have a passion. As a matter of fact, I'm pursuing it among others, physics and chemistry at the University of the West Indies right now.
Is that so?
I am.
Oh, isn't that
I didn't
wonderful?
add that to the thing.
You didn't add that to the thing at all? Really? So you're on campus now?
I'm actually at the Faculty of Science and Technology right now.
What an interesting mix. That's arts and science.
Yes.
How many people have both? Very few people. Very few people.
You know?
So you're saying?
So, right. So the love for biology and the sciences in general started at St. Hilda's. I had a great biology teacher, I must say. And separate and apart from that, I also, of course, I did visual arts. I did information technology and Caribbean history as well. And the academy. It was spread across a wide base, but my love was really in biology. You know, and of course by extension the arts.
Okay, because you know, at most teenagers that you know, you have a love for the arts,
right?
Sometimes find it difficult to balance academics with your extracurricular activities, and especially something as passionate as dancing. You know, because I'm just thinking that probably you were in the class thinking about the next dance move, but no. And what helped you to balance your academics with your extracurricular activities?
Well, the thing is, even though I was always busy doing something, I was also the emphasis. My parents always emphasized you must have education.
Right.
You must have, no matter what. Because another thing, my mother always emphasized: don't put your eggs into just one basket, spread it.
Right.
You know, so I had to focus on my lessons, and even if we were going to be doing performances, education always came first in my house. So I had my study timetable, and even when you know, like normal students, I did have pressures or did have struggles with sometimes time management, but at the end of the day, I worked hard at it, and I left St. Hilda's with 8 C6 subjects.
Wonderful.
You know,
congrats.
So thank you.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, education was still and still is, you know, first for me. You must have a sound education.
You know, we ask these questions, Christina, and we don't ask them by chance.
Right.
We really do want to bring the point across that whoever you are, right, it really does help to have a sound and solid educational background.
It does.
So sometimes we see even some of the artists, you know, some of the artists who are doing so very well. When you hear their background, you understand why their writing ability is so good.
Precisely.
You understand?
And it also assists with exposure.
Absolutely.
You know?
Social skills.
Because when you go and you find a dancer who just any random dancer, who is just exposed to a particular line of thinking, then everything they produce is going to be along that same type of thinking. And then eventually, excuse me, what you're going to find is that every piece of work, it will be the same.
It's limited to your exposure.
It's limited.
Absolutely.
To exposure. Exactly, that's what it is.
Yes.
Limited to your exposure.
And it's not just in dance, it's just about life. Generally.
Right.
Because the more exposed you get, the wider you can look at life. Right?
Exactly.
Yes, absolutely.
Exactly.
Very good point. I'm very happy that you made that point. Because, you know, people see you dancing around and say, what a happy girl. She's not happy girl.
No.
She never do a thing. So
hello.
I'm happy you made that point. All right. So right out of high school, you enrolled at Edna Manley.
Yes.
Was this
oh boy.
Was this something that you knew you were going to be doing as soon as you left high school?
Yes. Yes, I did. Honestly, as a matter of fact, I wanted to do physical therapy as well. But then you know, I decided that, no, I want to do this dancing. I want to do it right now. So, of course, I went in and I pursued dance theater and production.
Right.
And that's what I've been doing since I graduated in 2008, you know.
Okay. What genres of dance were you trained in?
Contemporary, ballet. I have West African folk as well. I had exposure to a really great West African folk teacher. Caribbean folk. And we did various subtopics under each heading. So, for example, under contemporary, I would do Cunningham or Martha Graham techniques. So there are different dance techniques that come under contemporary. And under West African or Caribbean folk, rather, I would do, you know, Kumina, Jamaican folk forms, Kumina, Brookings, different forms like that. And yeah,
what I found interesting while I was reading your bio is that you said that you were formally trained in all the genres that you just explained a while ago,
right?
But that you were self-trained in dancehall, aren't we all? But you know what I found interesting is that it's not yet being taught in a dance school, and it is so specific, the dancehall and dancing dancehall. So do you think that training to dance dancehall should be included in the curriculum?
To be honest with you, this is a very controversial topic, and it is my belief that it would be, based on the current status of dancehall, it would be a bit hard to develop a syllabus for dancehall, because dancehall is always changing.
Yes.
Literally, it changes every day.
Right, yes.
So you have a new movement today, then you have a new movement the next day.
Right.
So what you find is a form like ballet, you know, perhaps back in the day when ballet was just being formulated, just like dancehall, it wasn't something that you could just put into schools right away.
Right.
But it's the same thing will happen for dancehall. It would take a bit more time.
Gotcha.
You know, but eventually, yes.
Got you.
know?
Got you. And of course, having a background in dancing from you're a teenager really makes a difference to how you see dancing. I just need to say this, that you graduated with distinction and received the Rex Nettleford Award for the most outstanding choreography student of your year group. Is choreography your forte?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, I picked that up.
Yes, it is.
I see that. I can sense that.
Yes, it is.
You know, you described a lot of dance techniques. Rex Nettleford is so well known for being a dancer. Is there a Rex Nettleford technique?
To be honest, I would say yes. But I don't think it's the National Dance Theatre Company technique then. Better you say that.
Okay, all right, I got that. So it's more about his company, the company that he formed, and the techniques that they... Okay, wonderful. All right, you know, this is, as you mentioned this, let me just ask you this.
Right.
You debuted as a young choreographer.
Right.
For the National Dance Theatre Company of Jamaica in 2009. That must be a big deal.
Glorious.
Absolutely. Wouldn't every dancer want that? Young dancer want that? Hello? What was that experience like?
Oh my goodness, it was a bit surreal, because I mean, it's Professor Rex Nettleford, and up until his passing, you know, he was just a very intimidating man to me. So that time when I went to him and I said, Professor, I'd like to choreograph a piece for the National Dance Theatre Company. All right, well, go ahead. Show me something and I'll let you know if it can go on. And then when I showed it to him, they put it on. So it was just, I was ecstatic. It was wonderful for me. And I mean, the reception was good.
Right.
You know?
Right.
So it was just one of the highlights,
absolutely,
I think, of my career.
Absolutely. Wouldn't it be for every young dancer? I can. That's why I mentioned that. And what is also interesting is that it was an original work titled My Skin, My Kin.
Right.
And we're going to talk a bit more about that when we come back from the Pick 3, right? But it was an original work titled My Skin, My Kin, depicting the importance of self-love and black pride.
Right.
And when we come forward after the Pick 3, I'm going to ask you what motivated this idea and how did you move it from a concept to an actual dance, right? Because you need to help us to think as a dancer, and I know you're going to do it very well. So we're going to take a break, and then when we come forward, we can ask that question, right?
Okay.
So for those listening, what an interesting young lady, Christina Gonzalez, and I'm so happy that Lana invited her, because it was Lana who invited you. There's not me anymore. I know. Lana, take on my program. God in it. Anyway, the Uprising Roots Band live in concert is going to be tomorrow, Friday, October 25, at the Cable Hut, Bull Bay. Admission $500. Gates open at 6:30 p.m. and showtime is 8 p.m. Rocker selectors are Gabriel Selassie, Troubleshoot Disco, and DJ DC.
Miss Gwen, sell me a Oxymaster there. It make washing so much easier. It takes stain out a white and stain out a color. Oxymaster available in shops and supermarkets island-wide. Ask for it.
The time on Irie FM is...
It is now 12:58. Once again, want to remind our listeners that at 1 o'clock this afternoon, listen up for the Pick $3 and a Cash Pot live draw.
Hey DJ, can you play that song? Set the mood for me to all a different energy. I'm loving how the music sounds. You said the woman, them we are brave. Hey, chimney, give me a little one drop. Make the bass line roll and catch. trouble him. Yo, nobody make up a face. No need mugging. Good vibes in the place. No one watching. Long time, so we not feel like this. You mean like this. The bean well clean, so fresh. Oh yes, so blessed. Here we live to one job. Make the bass line roll non-stop. Me love how the rhythm just a chop. Me and my woman a rock. Give me a little one job. The music from Jamaica. I make we couple up and all I wine non-stop. It's like the drum and the bass line. The outfit to hold you wind up your waistline.
Welcome to this afternoon's live draw for the Supreme Ventures, Dollars, Pick 4, Pick 3, Pick 2, and Cashpot games. Let the games begin.
Hi, good afternoon, everybody. It's Thursday, October 24, 2013. Welcome to this afternoon's live game draw for dollars. Pick 2, Pick 3, Pick 4, and Cashpot. This live draw is under the supervision of the Betting, Gaming, and Lotteries Commission and the independent auditors, KPMG. Let's start off with our dollars game, and remember that with dollars, you pick your play. And this afternoon's dollars numbers are 12, 9, 7, 31, 29, 16, 20, 27, 33, 24, 36, and finally, lucky number 23. All right, on now to our Pick 2 game, and remember that winning is just too easy with Pick 2. And this afternoon's winning Pick 2 numbers are 14 and 29. So once again, the winning Pick 2 numbers, 14 and 29. Remember, keep playing Pick 2 for easy ways to win. Well, in our Pick 3 multiple chance promotion, remember, if you spend an additional $10 in straight or mix and $20 in backup, you'll get 3 sets of numbers and 3 more chances to win. The promotion ends on November 2. See the press for details. And now to Pick 3. Our winning Pick 3 numbers are 7, 2, and 3. So once again, the winning Pick 3 numbers this afternoon, 7, 2, and 3. The next game up is Pick 4. And our winning Pick 4 numbers are 8, 9, 5, and 2. So again, the winning Pick 4 numbers for this afternoon, 8, 9, 5, and 2. Remember, to confirm winning numbers, please check the press for details or simply call the results hotline, the number 1-888-737-8587. And now to everybody's favorite game, Cashpot. And our winning Cashpot number is lucky number 15. Congratulations to all our winners. Again, the winning Cashpot number is 15, and the lucky mark for 15, rat. Remember to come back at 5 o'clock for our Drive Time live game draw. Hope you're a big winner. I'm Naomi. Have a supreme afternoon.
Hope you were a winner. Play dollars twice a day at 1 and 5 p.m. Pick 4, Pick 3, Pick 2, and Cashpot every day, 4 times a day during the live draws at 10:30 a.m., 1, 5, and 7:30 p.m. Supreme Ventures, games people love to play and more.
Thank you very much. That was the lunchtime Pick $3 and the Cashpot draw. Tune in later at 5 p.m. for the Drive Time Live Cashpot draw live on Irie Fm. We have live inside the studio my very special guest this afternoon, Christina, with My Skin, My Kin. depicting the importance of self-love and black pride. My question again, Christina, what motivated this idea and how did you move it from a concept to a dance?
Okay. Well, this dance, of course, was the inspiration from it was definitely the whole phenomenon of anything black no good.
Right.
And of course, you know, that is still a problem that exists since the days of slavery till even right now. So it's basically, in terms of concept, I write down everything. I am a writer. I confess, I am a writer. So in terms of coming up with a concept or a formula for choreographing my work, I'll write down every piece of movement. I'll write down where it is, what movements should be done here, what the feeling should be, and so the movement started, you know, aggressive movements showing, you know, the dancers fighting against themselves or fighting against, you know, issues that really should be non-existent, because of course your circumstances should not, or in this case your color, the color of your skin should not determine who you are or who you are to become. Don't let that hold you down.
It shouldn't even be an issue.
It should not be an issue.
Absolutely.
You know, and so that's basically what the first part of the dance was about. And then towards the end, of course, the dancers, you know, tired of fighting, they collapse in the darkness, and then it goes on into free movement. So basically, it's an evolvement from fighting against my black skin to accepting my skin and loving it and loving who it is that I am, and it's not going to be a shadow over my life.
Beautiful, wonderful. You know, there's a song, you see, that what did the dancer did name? Bogle. All right, Bogle. Remember Bogle?
Yes, I do.
All right. And there's a little girl in one of the songs. The intro say, "Everybody can dance, but I know everybody a dancer." You remember that?
Yes, I do.
All right. Well, dancing is something that I absolutely love, and although I'm not a dancer, but I always think to myself, and I even choreograph in front of the mirror.
Okay.
Right? But I'm always very fascinated about a choreographer and how you even begin to choreograph. So I'd like you for me to define choreography as it relates to dance. Is it a mental process that becomes movement? Or does the mind and the body work simultaneously while creating the dance? You understand the question?
I understand the question.
Please, I would love to know.
Well, for me, it definitely is a mental process. It is definitely mental. So I could be just sitting down. This has been happening from I'm in high school till now. I can just sit down, you play a piece of music, and if I like the music, immediately what I will see in my head is just dancers dancing.
Okay.
The way that the movements, you know, should be done, the way that a sequence should come out of a music. You know, so for me, it's definitely a mental process. I have to sit down and mentally think about things. You have some choreographers. It's different. It depends on the choreographer. Because you have some choreographers that have to have the music. You go into a studio and you work out the movements yourself in the studio. That's not for me. I will sit down in a room as tiny as this one right here.
Right.
And I will just listen to the music and I will write down my dance.
Okay.
Exactly. It's very strange to a lot of people, especially dancers.
But dancers find that strange?
Yes. That I have to write it out?
Yeah.
Yeah. A lot of dancers find it strange.
All right. I know that, you know, here's the other thing that I want. I know that you work a lot with top local acts, right? And I've seen a list of names, right? Very impressive names. How do you work with a Shireen? Different from a D'Angel? Different from a Sean Kingston. I mean, all right, let me play a song, right? And perhaps it's a song you've heard before. If you're thinking that, you know, I want to choreograph this song, what are some of the things that come, since you say it's a mental process? I'm going to play a song and you tell me some of the processes that come inside of your mind immediately upon hearing this song.
Okay.
Selector.
But I
Okay, let's go.
All right.
What? First of all, do you first find the mood that you're going to be dancing in? Tell me about the process. What just happened to you a while ago?
Well, of course, I just have my pen and my book.
I see that.
So I just write down 3 things.
All right.
So basically, what I'm going to tell you is what I visualize for it.
Right.
So immediately I hear this song, and what I hear is a fusion of Afrocentric movements.
Right.
There are some step routines. Those type of jump and jive and as if frills, skirts, or men doing dancehall and that's what I'm seeing.
Okay, so you actually see it.
So I see it.
Okay.
There's an image. It just comes into my head just like that. And that's exactly what I do. What I find is that sometimes when people try to create something, you have to. What I'm trying to say is you have to build it based on what it is that you're hearing. So whatever you're feeling from the music, that's exactly what you're to put on the dancers. Otherwise, there's going to be no chemistry.
Right.
You understand?
Right.
So, and you see, I'm getting
excited
because this is what I do.
Absolutely. This is what I want. This is what I want to see. I want to see you doing what you do and how excited you get about it.
Right. So that's exactly what I do. So right in the moment, I write it down, I pen it down, and then, give me a studio in the next hour, and I create a dance through a whole routine for this.
And do you see the type of dancer that you want? Do you picture, let us say, I want
fun dancers, funky dancers who are not afraid to jiggle if I tell you to jiggle.
Right.
Not afraid to jump out of your comfort zone.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
That's exactly what I'm saying.
Wow.
All of that one time.
All right. This is a topic that people feel that we can't go soul to soul on, but watch me, we're going soul to soul on this. Does dance have soul? Can you dance so hard that you become connected with the spirits, with the gods?
Oh my goodness. I feel so. I think it's this sometimes happen when there's silence. It takes you dance by yourself in a room, all by yourself. You're listening to music. You allow yourself to connect to that music, and you and the music, the movements, you all become one. And in that moment, there's just, dare I say, equilibrium of the whole space, and that just, that's soul.
That's soul. So dance has soul.
Dance definitely has soul.
Definitely has soul. You know something? I remember once, you see, I was in Florida, somewhere in Florida, and Jaboni Wheeler there was a concert. It was a concert, and Jaboni Wheeler was on stage, and he was doing his songs from the Black Heart Man CD. And Christina, I danced myself into such a frenzy that I swear, when I came out of it, it seemed to me that you could actually dance yourself into a trance. Is that possible?
I feel so.
Can you dance yourself into a trance?
I feel so.
Even if you're not a choreographer like you. You didn't laugh off of me. Even if you're not.
No, but then remember, you don't have to be a choreographer to dance to dance yourself into a trance.
Right.
We've been doing this as African people from day one.
Right.
Kumina is all about this. You know what I mean? So, yes, you can. Yes, you can dance yourself into a trance.
And if you can dance yourself into a trance, boy, dance have enough soul.
It does.
Enough soul. All right. Let me get into your soul now.
Oh boy.
Do you have a definition of the Almighty? And if you do, how do you perceive God? Jah?
Well, I'd say that I am a Christian. And I perceive Jah, God, to be, of course, as all Christians see him, omnipresent, the one who you pray to, and you put your faith in, you put your energy in. But at the same time, I do believe in self-motivation. Self-motivation in that whatever, of course, as I said, you put, whatever you put your energy into the most, that's the thing that you will achieve. So yes, I believe in God, and I also believe in of course, it's in the Bible as well. God helps those who help themselves. Right. I believe in self-motivation as well.
Right. A lot of people who consider themselves to be religious, and not particularly, but Christians are among them,
right,
find that their religion creates limitations that sometimes hold them back.
Yeah.
As a Christian, do you have a problem jiggling on the dance floor, or do you think that Jesus is going to certainly get you after you're done?
No, I don't. I think my God has a sense of humor. Okay? and he's not going to give you this thing that makes you feel so good, and then you are not supposed to do it.
Right.
You know? But I think what comes in though is the situation in which you do it.
Right.
So I don't want to
give us a situation.
Okay, let me give you a situation. I don't want to ostracize anybody.
Right.
You know, but if there are certain places that would be deemed taboo, or if it is done in an overtly sexual manner, then in that instance, you know, to be honest with you, I really cannot. As a dancer, as a choreographer, I really don't want to put a. I think, but if it is definitely done in an overtly sexual manner,
right,
then in such a way that it is vulgar, then I'm not for it.
Right.
You
but
know?
if it's a creative way of expression,
creative ways of expression, and you have to understand why I'm having difficulty answering this question, because as a choreographer, I have to be
right, and as an artist, you have to be free.
Exactly.
I got you.
I really don't want to insult any particular sect.
You're a true artist. You're a true artist. No,
I thank you.
Yeah, man, you are a true artist, and I will move away from it.
Yes.
That you can continue to be a true artist.
I thank you so much.
Thank you. All right. How do you express this godliness in real life?
In real life, how do I express my godliness?
Yes.
Okay. Traditionally, how I relate to people. I relate to people, you know. I will definitely get involved in charities where I can. My mother does charities a lot. She's with the Senior Citizens Club of Runaway Bay, and from time to time I will take part in her endeavors. And she has gotten us as children involved with charity projects from we're young. So if you ask me, how do I express my godliness, then it would be in the sense of charity, in the sense of giving.
Absolutely. That's one of the most wonderful ways to express godliness.
It is.
Charity. Isn't that a wonderful word?
It is.
It's a wonderful word. All right. You choreographed Far From Heaven.
Yes.
A comedic piece about a nun who tries to seduce a priest while in confession. Look here, little girl. So, I know you are opinionated, and we just touched on a subject a while ago that was interesting about, how not to limit people's creativity.
Right.
Are you as opinionated, are you as willing to take risks in person as you would, let us say, do in dance? Are you that kind of person? You understand? I know that when you're in dancing and you're choreographing a dance, there's a freedom of expression that comes with the art. Do you extend that freedom of expression to real life?
Are we talking about the choreography Far From Heaven? We're relating it to that? Because if it's in that sense, no.
Yeah, because let me tell you something. For you to be Christian,
yes,
right, and to create choreograph a piece of a nun trying to seduce a priest,
it's controversial.
It's quite controversial.
Very much so.
And perhaps it would be seen as less controversial when it is in dance, and more controversial were you to express this in real life. So it is from that I asked the question. Is there more freedom for you to express how you feel in dance as opposed to express how you feel in real life?
Yes, I'm a lot more reserved in real life. I have a lot more freedom when I'm choreographing.
Okay, and that means?
That means that I am a lot more free. I will go from A to Z and beyond when I choreograph.
Right.
But when in real life, I'm as reserved as you see me.
You don't look so reserved to me. Anyway, let me ask you this now, because I'm looking at you and I see that there is something that I would call distinctly Christina.
Okay.
I don't know you well enough, but I have enough life experience to know that there is something about you that is distinctly Christina. Do you have a personal style? Is there something, a personal way that you like to dress, flow, that kind of thing?
It varies.
What's your personal style?
It varies. What's my personal style? I have a fashion designer friend who would definitely be able to tell you. Okay, my personal style would be it would be a mix of today, and I like vintage.
Mm-hmm.
I like vintage mixed with the contemporary.
Okay.
So my personal style would come with that. I like rings. I like stones. I'll wear loose fitted clothing. Okay, here's it. I like bright colors.
You like bright colors?
Yes.
Nice, yes.
I like bright colors. That's Christina. Rainbow.
Okay. And I like your hairstyle.
Thank you.
Are you always natural or is it just a phase?
No, I've been natural for a very long time, actually. I had locks just last December.
You're joking?
No, I'm not joking.
I know you have Afro puff like
I know I have Afro puff.
Yeah. But whatever it is, it varies, but it's always natural.
It is mostly natural. The last time I had processed hair was when I was in grade 8.
Oh, long time.
Yeah, long time ago.
So you consider yourself a natural girl?
Right. Pretty much.
Okay.
Pretty much.
What are your passions? Are you passionate about anything particularly?
I am passionate about life. I'm passionate about never giving up. I don't know how to. Apart from dance and choreography, of course, I'm passionate about learning about the universe, the sciences. As I said, I'm doing physics, chemistry, and biology right now. So I am passionate about those things. That's
your passion. All right. You presently teach children dance and drama. One of the reasons why Lana even mentioned you is that you're now teaching one of her daughters. So I know that you teach children on the North Coast. As a parent myself, right, who raised my boys both in Kingston and in Ocherous, I found it a lot easier to find positive extracurricular activities for them in Kingston than I found this side.
Right.
So I was very happy when Nana told me about what you were doing. You were fortunate to have Kana kiddies, right? But not many people had that. How motivated are you, since you are doing it now, to change that trend where at least parents now can have somewhere where they can send their children who are artistically inclined?
I'm very motivated, very much so, because as a youngster growing up in St. Anne, I understood the frustration. The only exposure in terms of a dance school that I had was, 1 year my parents sent my sisters and I to Edna College, all the way in Kingston for the summer. So I do know, and then the thing is that whenever that performance group would emerge in my years, it would last for probably the longest was about a year.
Right.
I was in Kiddies Art Center with Mr. Davis and directed by Mr. Davis and Mr. Winsmith. And that didn't last for very, very long. I think it lasted for about 2 or so years. But what you find is that these performance groups, they don't usually last very long. So as a child, you can understand the frustration. You go in, you fall in love with these things, and then they've just vanished.
Right.
Right.
And a lot of people, a lot of parents particularly, who are raising children outside of Kingston have that problem. And it's something that, it doesn't have to be a problem. It's something that can be so easily addressed.
Right.
Kingston have the little theaters and it
has everything.
But the thing is that they were created by someone. It's not like God sent it to Kingston. You understand me? So it would seem to me that people like yourself, who were raised this side, really could be doing a lot like what you're doing here now. How do you find working with the children this side? I know that Lana's little one looking forward to Christmas. What is happening? What are you doing with these kids?
Okay, well, the Dance a Lot Club, we teach, we do dance, we do drama, we do visual arts, we do music.
Right.
So it is, to be honest with you, I teach in Kingston as well. I've taught several schools in Kingston. And they are just the same. in terms of the mental capacity to catch on to the movements that I teach them, to catch on to what the music teacher himself is teaching them, or the art teacher or the drama teacher. You know, they catch on and they enjoy it.
Right.
You know?
And what is important is that it continues. As you say, a lot of time it stops after a year.
Right.
But you intend to have it.
I intend to keep it.
Yeah, man.
You know, it needs to be. We need something like this down here.
Absolutely.
We need it down here. You know, and that really is my goal, to just keep it here, to have it a permanent resource, a cultural resource for this location, for the North Coast.
I am so happy to hear that. And you know, I tell you, this is one of the reasons that really interested me about you, because it is so necessary that we involve our children in creative, endeavors. It takes them off the street. It helps them. It does. There's just so much that it does. To have a positive curricular activity that the family can enjoy. So that seems to me to be a mission, if you ask me.
Right.
Last question.
Okay.
What are you looking forward to at this point in your life? What are you looking forward to?
I am looking forward to the success of the Dance a Lot Kids Club. That's exactly what I'm looking forward to. It is. I've been getting good support. The children are just my inspiration.
Right.
You know, we are working towards our first Christmas concert, which is December 14th, and we are just having so much fun. The kids are excited. And
if parents this side listening want to be a part of it, how can they become involved?
They can become involved quite easily. You can call me at 428-9791 or 973-7924 and just ask for some more information on the Dance a Lot Kids Club. We operate it every Saturday from 10 o'clock till 2 o'clock, and it is at the Rio Blanco gym. It's right after you pass the White River Bridge.
I know there.
It's that apartment complex.
I know there.
Right.
You
just go. There's that gym right there.
Right.
That's where we have club every Saturday 10 to 2. It's beautiful.
Beautiful. Yes.
Beautiful.
Yes.
And also parents can also go on our Facebook page at Dance a Lot Club. And you can look at the pictures, you can look at our videos of what we've been doing. Because, of course, I love to record. I record everything.
Right.
So I have photos up. I have videos uploaded to our YouTube site. So interested parents can definitely log on to Facebook. You can call me, 428-9791 or 973-7924. And just ask for the Dance a Lot Club.
All right, Christina, do me a favor. Before you go, could you just give my production assistant, Tracy, all that information for me? And we will certainly pass it on to parents. I'm sure there are parents now listening eagerly for somewhere to just send those children, that them can spend some quality time. This morning when I was writing the questions for Christina, I thought to myself, boy, it's such a privilege to dance, to sing, because these are things, as far as I'm concerned, they're heavenly. Singing and dancing is heavenly. So I said, I was thinking to myself that life is a dance. So I said, I wonder if there's a song like that. So I go on the internet and I type in life is a dance, and up comes this song. And I said, I must share this with Christina. It is a song. I don't write down the name of the person who do the song, but the song. And that is very key information, Christina. But not to worry. This song says, life's a dance you learn as you go. Sometimes you lead, sometimes you follow. Don't worry about what you don't know. Life's a dance you learn as you go. I would just like to say to you, continue to require much of yourself and continue to enjoy life's dance.
Thank you.
It was wonderful having you.
Thank you for having me.
I am so happy I've met you. And now I'm going to be sending enough picnic to the class. I am just hoping that you can tolerate the whole of them. All right?
I'm sure we will be able to.
God bless you, my love.
Thank you, and you too.
Take care.
Can't make nothing hold it down, them with it.